please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, so my top 15 NHL 2020 draft rankings video is out, and if you haven't watched that yet, I definitely would love it if you would go and check that one out. But in that video, I went through my top 15 players in this year's NHL draft, but I obviously had to talk about 15 players and couldn't go into that deep of detail on each one. So what I decided to do, now that that is out and done with, is to do more of an in-depth look at individual players, particularly the top prospects in this year's NHL draft, and just go a little bit more in detail and in depth about that player, what they bring to the table, and what makes them so such a highly touted prospect for the NHL. So first up, who we're going to talk about today is the projected #1 draft pick, almost guaranteed #1 draft pick, Alexis Lafreniere. Before I begin, I just ask that you please hit that subscribe button if you're new, and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. It really helps the channel a lot and is very much appreciated. But let's get into it here, looking at Alexis Lafreniere, left winger from the Quebec Major Junior League. The consensus #1 this year in 2020. He's ranked #1 in my draft rankings. I don't think it's really ever been in question that Alexis Lafreniere is the top prospect in this year's draft. He's a winger, like I said, 6'1", 192 pounds. That's from Elite Prospects. Those weight especially can fluctuate, and he's been listed at different weights between 190 and 195, but Elite Prospects has him at 192. And he has been lighting up the Quebec Junior League for the past couple years. Last season, he had 52 games played, 35 goals, 77 assists, 112 points, 50 penalty minutes, and a +41 rating. Really, really, really good player here. Gonna be, I think, a superstar at the NHL level. I think he's somebody who's going to come right in and be NHL ready. And he's got good size to him at 6'1", 192. I mean, he's got an NHL body for sure. And, he's only going to continue to get bigger and stronger as he gets older, as he gets on an NHL training plan, and all of that. The upside here with Lafreniere is absolutely massive. He could legitimately become one of the top players in the NHL over the next 5 years. I watched a lot of highlights and video of Lafreniere, and there's some things that in particular really stood out to me. He has elite finishing and elite playmaking abilities, and that's tough to find sometimes. I think a lot of players are more known for their playmaking, but the goal scoring isn't necessarily at that level. And then other players, they're pure goal scorers and they're great snipers and scorers, but they're not, huge playmakers. They don't rack up tons of assists. Alexis Lafreniere is a guy who I think is going to be able to score goals at an elite level and pass the puck and just playmake and set up at an elite level as well. He's got incredibly good vision. He's incredibly slick with the puck on his stick. And he brings both things to the table at a very, very high level. He's an extremely powerful skater, and I think a lot of that comes with his size as well, but he's an extremely powerful skater. He's fast. He certainly can skate at the NHL level, and again, something that will get even better as he gets older and continues to work on it. But he's just... skating is without, and certainly not an issue with Lafreniere. This kid can move, and he moves very powerfully, and he's very strong on his skates, and that's obviously something that's very, very good and important to have when you go start playing against full-grown men in the NHL. Good size. Yeah, he's got NHL size already, 6'1", 192. That's NHL size right there, and this is a league that isn't as physical as it used to be. And certainly the smaller players have been able to flourish a lot more in the modern NHL compared to 20 years ago. But there are still those big, tough, rough and tumble guys as well who are 6'3", 6'4", and 220 and will bash your head through the boards. And Lafreniere, I think, has the size to be able to stand up and play against those guys. He has the size to win board battles. He has the size to play in front of the net. And do all those things in the dirty areas while also having the speed maybe a smaller player who can race up and down the ice and use his speed and agility to their advantage. Lafreniere's got good size and great skating, and he's really kind of the total package. Hockey IQ is extremely high. Vision is incredible. Some of the assists I've seen on the highlight films from this kid, it's like how did he know that player was even there? He can move the puck extremely well. He knows where to be on the ice. He knows he knows where other players are on the ice and how to get them the puck. Just hockey IQ is absolutely through the roof with this kid, and he's a very smart player, and he knows. He knows how to move the puck offensively, whether it's get it on goal, whether it's pass it to somebody, whether it's where to, maybe it's just dump it in the corner and let your winger fly down the winger on the other side fly down the other side and go get it. Like he's smart with the puck, and he's certainly some of the passes he made, I look at them and just go, if that was me, I wouldn't even know that guy was there, and he's finding him, backdoor or cross crease, and just hitting him with these nasty passes. So very, very smart hockey player. And the final thing, he goes to the net, and this kind of goes along with his size, but I love the way he drives the net. He is not afraid to take the puck to the front of the net. He is not afraid to get to the dirty areas on the ice. And he knows he's going to get roughed up by defensemen, that they're going to try and stop him. But so many of his goals that I saw in the highlights were rebound goals, or just goals of him driving the net and taking it to the net. And that is something I love to see that in a player. That is where most goals are scored in hockey, is in the dirty areas, in front of the net, in the crease, in the slot. And he has no qualms about going to the net at all. He can pass the puck in front of the net. A lot of his assists were him passing two guys in front of the net, and he can drive the net himself with the puck. And that's a great thing to have heading into NHL caliber hockey. Some comparables. The first one that jumps out to me is Mikko Rantanen. Now, he's not quite as big as Rantanen. Rantanen's 6'4", and I believe a little heavier, 210, 215-ish weight-wise. So Rantanen's a little bit bigger than Lafreniere, but as far as style of play goes, just the ability to set up and score. They're both wingers, obviously. We've seen centers that can score and set up, but these are wingers that can score and set up, and Rantanen, I think, is one of the best at that in the NHL. He's got an incredibly good shot and can score a lot of goals, but he also is always going to have more assists than goals on the season. And Rantanen's, a 100-point type guy because of that, or at least a 90-point type guy because of that. So, I really see that kind of player in Lafreniere. And another one is Jonathan Huberdeau, is who NHL.com directly compared Alexis Lafreniere to. I think Lafreniere's got more goal-scoring potential than Huberdeau does. Huberdeau's more of an assist guy and a setup man. And as far as the assisting goes, I absolutely see Lafreniere with Huberdeau in that style as well. I just think Lafreniere brings more goal-scoring potential to the table, but they are similar size as well. Huberdeau's another one of those big wingers with a lot of skill. So certainly a reasonable comparison, absolutely. But Lafreniere is the real deal, guys. There's a reason this kid's a consensus #1. I think he's going to be a legitimate superstar in the NHL. Whichever team gets him is going to be extremely lucky to have him. And I see big things in the future for him. Both on the goal scoring and on the assist front. I just think he's a points machine. He's got the body. He's got the size. He's not afraid to play in the dirty areas and go to the net, like I said. The hockey IQ is there. Alexis Lafreniere, in a lot of ways, is the total package as far as a top-line NHL winger goes. And I think that's why he's the consensus #1 and why everyone has such high hopes for him, is because you don't see wingers like this come around all the time in the NHL, and he really brings everything to the table. So that is my draft profile for my #1 ranked player. I think pretty much everyone's #1 ranked player, Alexis Lafreniere. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.